Hey guys. Ooh. I'll start again, shall I? Hey guys, welcome back to Alternative Smallholding. Thank you, dude. Welcome back to Alternative Smallholding. It is Sunday. It is cold, it is blustery, and it is drizzly. So not like heavy rain, but like, you know, that little droplet rain that you don't realise how wet you're getting. That's today's rain. But the work won't do itself, and we have convinced ourselves to spend an hour here today sorting out compost and muck and some other jobs that need to be done. So we're going to set the timer for an hour, yes? An hour, and then we can go home and get warm and have a glass of wine. Yes. It's horrible. Look at it. Sodden. Very, very wet. But we're in good spirits really, and there's lots that needs to be done, and like I said, the work doesn't do itself, so we better get on with it and get cracking. You didn't listen to what I told you, did you? No. Move them. So I've asked Bearded Dude, or we are both doing, not just him, we've got loads of bags of leaves. We're going to dump them on here for now, because this bed wall is partially covered with manure, but I'll be covering the rest of it in the week. So if the leaves are on it, it creates an extra job, doesn't it? Hey? Yeah. So we brought over loads of bags of leaves, and over there's loads of bags of manure. This pile needs turning. You know those puzzles where you've got one free square and then you have to slide everything around to reform to make the perfect picture? That's what this is going to be like today, because we've got one free space. We need to move things around so that we can get compost bays ready for next year, and the stuff that is composted down from last year we can use. It's going to be a mucky job, probably not the best thing to do in the wind and rain and damp and cold, but let's get stuck in. These kind of ones will go on the bottom of the compost bay again, so I'm going to put them over here. We've got bags. What are these of? I don't even know what some of these are because they've already started decomposing. But one problem we do have is I put some weeds on here, and the creeping buttercup is definitely rooted, so this lot needs to go into the compost bay down there. I'm not composting that down. I'm not risking it. Come look at this. Let me just lift this up. Look at that black gold. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all the bugs. Run and hide, little bugs. The problem we've got with this bay is we've got all of the chicken manure that we put in there last year that has composted down really, really well. But on top of that, we've been bringing over bags of like plant cuttings and kitchen scraps and leaf mould and all sorts of things. But we've just been putting them on top because we've not been managing the compost great this year, have we? No. So we've got to clear all this out, get down to that manure, get the manure out, and then we can start a new compost bay. We have a resident, so we're going to have to be careful when digging this out. It's either a mouse or a rat, but we need to check that we don't hurt them. But that's rotted down really well. I'm pleased with that. Whatever was in there has done one already. Maybe we scared it off when we put all the leaves on there yesterday. So this is mostly chicken manure and chicken bedding. We stacked this lot up last November. Now with chicken manure you do need to give it a year to decompose because it's a really hot compost, or it makes a really hot compost. It's a hot manure. So we left it for a year. We stacked it last November and it's rotted down, and yeah, I'm pleased with how that looks. So we're going to get that out and onto some plastic, and then we'll start this as a new compost bed. But I think it's done well. I think that's really going to feed our plants. So you don't need a lot of it, so this will probably do the majority of our growing spaces. Whilst doing that, I thought I'd give you a quick update on what these seedlings are doing. Now we planted these last weekend, so I'm not expecting a lot of growth from them, but I thought we would see if there is any progress. A lot of people have said that they're going to take part in the growing salads and vegetables over winter in their unheated greenhouse. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of your updates. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link the video down below or try and put a card somewhere. I'm terrible at putting those cards or little reminders. Awful at it. So I'll turn around and show you what they're doing so far. So the minimum temperature since, what was it, Wednesday that I checked it? Wednesday was 2.7 and since then it's only got down to 6.8 Celsius, which is 44.2 Fahrenheit. So that's not bad at all. It is staying a good temperature in here. So let's lift some of these lids. We have nothing in here, although some of these seeds, they're definitely starting to sprout. I shouldn't be poking them, should I? Oh yes, we have sprouting seeds. Hey babies, welcome to the world. And there's a few of them. Look, can you see that one there? Hiding down there. It's still a little bit moist, but it could definitely do with a bit more added to it, so I'll make sure I do that before I go. There's no spinach, not spinach, there's no radish. Yeah, there's no radish. Good gosh. Nothing in this lettuce, nothing in the rocket or arugula, and nothing in the spinach. That's not a lot of progress, but it does show that they are actually starting to sprout, so that's good. I'm happy with that after a week with these temperatures. So I'm going to go and open the other compost bay now. So dumping the compost on that bay, or the chicken manure should I say, and I'm going to deal with this compost bay. Right, so these compost bays come apart. Sorry, I'll make you wobble again. And in here is bags of cow and goat and that manure that we got from the farm yesterday. But up that end, just below you, there's also what's left of the 3 or 4 year old horse manure. So I want to get that out before we start packing in the new manure. So I'm going to have to move some bits around. There's lots of cardboard that we piled in here at the start of the year, and that seems to have rotted down really well, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm really pleased because it was virtually full of cardboard. So once that's mixed in with all the other medium, that's going to work great. In fact, that chicken manure had layers and layers of cardboard in, didn't it? And there's none of it left now, so that's obviously helped that make a good rich compost. So let's get this cleared out, get stuff going in. I think we've used about 20 minutes so far of our time, so better get a wiggle on. Huh? That's all horse manure and this is plants. So I need to get that out first. And then I'll dump this manure in and then start another compost. Here I am standing in the manure bays and I've identified a bit of a problem with the last of the horse manure that we've got. So down here, this is the last of the horse manure, but we've got a problem because the couch grass, now I thought this had weed membrane underneath, but obviously it's either been punctured or the couch grass is just persistent and grown through the sides. But that means that there's roots in this horse manure, which is a real pain, to be honest. I'm in two minds what to do with it. I need to get it out, so if I get it out and then look through it, anything that does have a lot of root in it, I'll either discard or we'll put back in as a hot compost and see if we can get rid of that. But I want to get down because I want to check the weed membrane at the bottom and lay some new stuff if I need to. Should it have weed membrane? That's a good question actually. Guys, on your compost heaps, do you put weed membrane on the bottom? This does have it, but I've never done big compost heaps before, so I was just going to replicate what we've got here, but maybe it shouldn't have weed membrane. Let me know in the comments below. What do you do with your compost heaps? Work has had to stop because I've come across a whole load of frogs. This is getting really slippy now. In the manure bay. So down here, let's see if I can uncover them. I've covered them back up. Where have you all gone? No, they're all hiding now. But I created another bed for them anyway, but there was 4 big frogs in there, and they are our allotment friends. They're one of our best organic natural defences against slugs. So if we've got a lot of frogs, I'm leaving them that habitat. What I've done this half of the bay, so this half of the bay here, I couldn't get all of the horse manure out, so there's a lot of slug pellets in there, like slug eggs, sorry, not slug pellets, and there was some couch grass, but I was pulling it out because the manure is like jet black and the couch grass roots, hello, are white, so I was able to see it. But I've basically layered this up. I need to scrape it out and finish it, but with horse manure, and then there was all the nasturtiums, and then some cardboard, and then some cow manure, some bean shoot things, you know, what we pulled up from the beans. I think my brain is done, guys. I think my brain wants to go home and have that glass of wine. I think we deserved it. It is raining quite heavy now. I apologise for the misplats on the camera, but I'll show you quickly what we've done. In fact, we'll go this way. What are you doing? Cleaning your shoes on the grass. Right, so I've pulled back this plastic here, and I've put down, I think there was 3 barrows, like small barrows in the end of the horse manure that I could use. The horse manure is what we used to grow our sweet corn last year, and as you remember, we had amazing sweet corn, so I'm hoping that by using that again we'll have a similar crop. And this is what we got out of the chicken manure bay. Look at that. Well, that is one big pile of well rotted chicken poo, and underneath there are the leaves that we've collected so far. If we go down here, oh god, it's not safe to work in these conditions, guys. That's what's left of the chicken poo, just that corner bit. But you're done, aren't you? You're done. We're all done. But that is one more job, possibly 2 jobs off the list. So that's good. And now we can start collecting more cow manure. I'm getting really rained on. Let me go in the greenhouse. Can you fill up the watering can for me? The water's open. The watering can's here. So now we can start filling that up with the mixed manure from the farm, and then we'll leave that to rot all year, and that'll be next year's manure. Now the chicken bay, we are filling that again with just chicken manure, so that we keep that separate, because that needs to rot for longer basically. But the rest of it, probably by, well, we probably won't need it until next autumn anyway, so it'll just rot down, but we need to look after those frogs first, don't we? So what we're going to do, that big pile of chicken manure that you can probably just see out there, I'm thinking we're going to do a Mr. Terry King, and we're going to bring over our green bin, because our council don't collect our garden waste anymore, and we just bring it over here and compost it, which is obviously doing well. But we thought we'd bring our green manure. I'm going to start doing bloopers reels, I tell you. We will bring our green waste bin over and we'll put that in it, and then it's there for when we need it. So brilliant. So I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching us at Alternative Smallholding while we played essentially in muck and the mud. So it was good fun. It's always good to get out and get one job done. As I say, the work doesn't do itself. So even though the weather is horrible, just getting out for 1 hour really does make you feel like you've got somewhere. And then when you go home and it's all horrible outside, it's so cozy. You put your feet up and get a coffee or a tea, or as I'm going to do, a nice glass of wine. So yeah, and then I'm going to start off some new wine, and I need to film that for you guys, don't I? So there will be that video coming up soon, I promise. So take care. Thanks for watching. I've been Jazz, there's Beardy Dude, and we are Alternative Smallholding right in the heart of England. So we hope you're all great, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.